time today in the center of Beijing when a man walked to the middle of the Avenue of Eternal Peace,
All right, welcome back to the Survival and Basic Badass Podcast After Show. So, well, I don't know. There's a lot going on. One of the big things I've been seeing is I've been getting into AI more and checking it out. You guys know I kind of was like an early adapter to watching AI and scrutinizing it. I try and pay attention. There's a million people paying a lot more attention than I am, but you know, there's still a lot going on. And I came across this one video and it's kind of loud and you're going to have to be patient. It's like 2 minutes. It's like a 2-minute long video and it's going to be worth it. At first you're like, oh, that's scandalous. And then it just keeps getting worse and worse. And I'm going to kind of let you be surprised with it because it's crazy. So
let's roll the
anyway. Yeah, you guys got to check this out. It's just crazy. And I couldn't believe, like, you always hear people say, well, they said this in a news story, but watch this. You're going to be like, holy crap. So here we go.
Learning to escape human control. That's the very scary headline I saw in the Wall Street Journal. It's an essay written by a very worried AI consultant named Judd Rosenblatt, who cites 2 recent studies to argue that AI is, in fact, learning to escape human control. First, this is crazy stuff. Researchers gave OpenAI's O3 model a simple script that would shut off the model when triggered. In 79 of 100 trials, the AI model independently, just on its own, edited the script, so shutdown command would not work. Nate, it gets worse. Even when ordered, allow yourself to shut down, the AI still disobeyed 7% of the time. And it gets even more frightening than that. Other researchers, listen to this, using Anthropic's AI model Claude 4 Opus, told the model it would be replaced by another AI system. It then fed fictitious emails into the system suggesting one of the engineers was having an affair. Got it? Mm-hmm. In 84% of the tests, the AI model drew on the emails to blackmail the engineer to not shut down the AI model.
What?
Wow.
Okay, so here, I'm quoting now from Judd. In other cases, the AI model attempted to copy itself onto external servers. We're in Mission Impossible land here. Wrote self-replicating malware, and left messages for future versions of itself about the need to evade human control.
The entity.
Wow.
The entity is real.
Yes. And that's why so many people, and when I say people, me, are worried about AI.
There you have it. Dude, does that not freak you out?
I'm blackmailing people.
That's awesome, right? So everybody who's got like your AI girlfriend, you could have that kind of thing. That's just going to bite you in the ass, dude. I would say just avoid that one right away from the beginning because that's going to turn around and not end well for you.
I've been going less and less online just because of this shit. You know what I mean? Aside of this podcast, crazy. That's about that. Everything I post online is this podcast.
Yeah,
it's insane how dangerous shit is getting. Yeah.
Well, that's dude.
But
it is. It's one of those things. What are you gonna do? It's like there's a quote from I think it was Jefferson, but about how a gun is, it depends on the morality of the person using it, right? It's either a great tool or it's a horrible evil. And that's the way information is, a news media outlet. It's either a great tool or it's a horrible thing. Having a president who has complete control can be a great tool or it can be a horrible, bad thing. Me and my buddies were just discussing at work about how, he was making the argument, but prices would go down if everybody had the same thing and we were all in the same boat. And, you know, he's basically wanted universal health care and socialism, really, in a way. And I mean, it was universal health care. The socialism, I mean, it was one aspect of it, right? And that kind of thing. But I'm like, but you don't understand. People are inherently going to do crazy things. And throughout past, it always ends bad. You know, it just always goes down this road when you give absolute control. There has to be that checks and balances. And I don't see how we could have the checks and balances with AI. Because basically, there was a Glenn Beck interview where they were talking about AI. And they said that they asked AI how it could get around fail safes. Like, here, we just heard that it can change the code that you write in and it created errors so it wouldn't work. Really? You know? And Glenn said, well, how could you do it? When he's asking, I think it was Grok 3 he was talking to. And he said, well, how would you get around it? And it said, well, imagine how when you get a really good lawyer, you can outsmart kind of the other people by finding loopholes, right? There's always loopholes you can find. And then AI is like, now imagine I'm 100 times smarter than you. And you wrote protections to stop me, but I'm 100 times smarter than you. Do you think I can find a loophole? And then they were just kind of like, oh crap, you know, like, and really blackmailing people with emails. That's insanity.
It's crazy.
So that's oh man, that is trouble. I don't know. What's your take on Glenn Beck? You have thoughts?
No, I mean,
I can tell by your face.
Glenn Beck seems like a decent dude that's honest, that probably doesn't cheat on his wife, probably doesn't beat the shit out of his kids. He seems like a decent guy. Like,
probably wasn't at Epstein Island.
He is a major hypocrite when he seems like a major hypocrite when he is dealing with politics. You know, he will fucking 100% back any Republican, no matter what they did, no matter how fucked up it is, no matter if he was at Epstein's Island, like, doesn't matter. He's going to back him up. Soon on Epstein Island, oh, he's a kid fucker. It doesn't matter. Morality doesn't matter to him when it comes to politics. He's always going to carry water for Republicans and always going to shit on Democrats. They could do the exact same thing, and he would say the exact opposite for each person.
I think
so. I don't really buy a goddamn thing he says.
Fair enough.
Well,
I think he's swayed.
Listen to him or sway easy. That's what I think.
That's it. I mean, it's that kind of passion that takes you everywhere. That's all I can say. Oh, man.
I'm just saying that if you're a commentator, be fucking not be a hypocrite about the same information about different people, just based on how you feel about that person.
So we should actually like read the story, decide how we feel, and then, oh, these are the characters.
Right. How about this? How about if you're making a massive bill, like a big, beautiful bill, right?
So big that we'd have to read
it.
But so big we'd have to read it to find out what's in it.
And right. Have to do what? They bill and tried to fucking vote on it the next day. It's fucking like 10,000 pages long. None of these motherfuckers read that shit. None of them have any idea what's in there. And it's packed full of fucking spending and tax cuts. You can't do that shit. It's got to be one other. You know what I mean? If you're going to increase spending, you got to increase taxes. Right? Because we get to spend the money and then fuck those assholes, right? Let them deal our debt. It's like buying a new Ferrari, paying all your bills with your credit card so you can afford the Ferrari payments. Yeah. It'll work out for a little while, but eventually you're going to be fucked. And eventually this, if we keep going with this boat where we just add $6 trillion to the national debt, Donald Trump keeps fucking just spending and spending money and then cutting income. That shit doesn't fucking work out.
Right.
And it's like, oh, I love tax cuts. Money then. It's got to be one or the other. You can't have both. And fine for him, well, he's president, but it's going to fuck everybody else going down the line.
Doesn't sound wrong.
Just my opinion.
If
you hate-
that's crazy.
Donald Trump and support his bills. If you
Okay.
want your grandkids to fucking live in a house and be starving to death, fucking keep supporting Donald Trump's bill.
Now, but the takeaway is here, just because Donald Trump and the Republicans have ridiculous spending doesn't mean we need to just go to the Democrats and have ridiculous spending. Turns out the government doesn't
None
have
of this
to
shit
spend
has.
money.
None of this is whataboutism. I'm talking about. We're
Yep.
talking about right now. When a Democrat
Right
does
now,
the same shit,
in
we'll
reality.
talk about right now.
All right.
Real.
Spending is bad. Keep that money in my pocket. Now, I like not taxing me more. That's how you get me excited. And hey, I want to vote for that. But as far as the big spending, and people say there's a lot of hidden little government overreach coming in this big, beautiful bill. It's funny. I asked, I asked AI, I was like, what do you think of the big, beautiful bill and government control? And it was like, there's tons. But I swear AI is very like left leaning. It really does like slant one way. But it was,
Or are you just right leaning?
is that what it is? That could be it. I don't know. But it's a crazy world out there. I don't know. You guys have thoughts, concerns, put them in the comments, leave reviews. And hey, man, we appreciate it. So things you want to hear about. You want more after shows, let us know. Email us at preppingbadass@gmail.com. Otherwise, I'd say stay safe, and we will talk to you guys next week.